everyone, it's Robin, Artist Island Crafts, and welcome to my studio. This is my Whip It Wednesday video where I show you a little bit of the crafty goodness that I've been working on. I turned some of my rainbow hearts. You might have seen them in the community tab, or I could have shown them to you last Whip It Wednesday, but I've turned them into a little mini quilt. I just have a light gray background. I've got my batting all ready, and then I have this grunge gray for the back. I'm making do with whatever I have on hand at the moment. So I have gray on the front, so gray on the back works well. I'm pretty sure I have a really nice red piece of fabric packed in a box somewhere. But I think with the gray on the front, it's going to work out fine. Plus, that allows the gray thread that I'm going to use for quilting to kind of disappear in the back, because I'm just going to probably crosshatch quilt this, so I don't really need to have the thread on the back to show up. If I were going to be doing some type of quilting in or around the heart, then I might want it to pop on the back of the quilt. I love when you have certain designs that pop on the back of the quilt. It's just really fun for the quilting parts of it. My plan is to have rainbow binding on it, so a whole bunch of the same colors that you see in here. These were all made with my 1.5 inch strip bin. I can't say it enough. I really appreciate having those strips already cut. I need to replenish it because I'm basically using the same fabrics over and over now. So I want to add some more life into that bin after the move. So that's one of those things I'll just kind of do one day. I used kind of a brighter, bolder, saturated type colors for these two hearts, and these were more of the little light subtles, so I just switched them up diagonally like that. If it was in a big quilt, they would all just kind of get mixed in together, and it would really give it that nice feeling. Almost like there's a little movement in the quilt, but it's hearts, so it's not. At least that's how it feels to me. With all the hearts that I've been working on, I did save the corners from the stitch and flip, and I turned them into my quarter square triangles. So these are the ones from this quilt. So there's that purple there, and there's that purple there. Because even if when you sew these hearts, they're made in a square with the strips, and then you do all your stitch and flip corners. So when you only have this little bit down here of the purple, you're going to have a lot of it. It's here somewhere. I know it is. I've made a lot of hearts. Nope, that's still not it. How could I not have that purple? There it is. So there's the same purple there. I knew it had to be somewhere because I kept these all together. So I do have some of the gray hearts, and I have some of the white hearts, and you'll see what I'm doing with these in next Whip It Wednesday. Now in the past, if you've been here for a while, you've seen me knit these dishcloths. This one still needs to be blocked to make it all nice and pretty. I actually have a video on how I block my dishcloths. But this is the version that I usually make, sometimes with the scrubby yarn, sometimes just with the cotton. But it can take a little bit on and off working here and there to knit them. So I wanted to go ahead and crochet some. So still using the scrubby cotton yarn, this is what I made out of one of them. I just took one of my favorite stitch patterns. It's really interesting how this is textured, and it's going to be great for a dishcloth, but I've also used this in a baby blanket with a larger hook and softer, larger yarn, and it works really well for a baby quilt too. It has that nice sturdiness to it, I should say, a little bit of a thickness to it. So if you want to lay the baby on it, it works out really well. And if you want to use it to cover them up in the cooler months, again, it keeps them nice and warm. So this was a fun yarn. Now this one measures, it's going to be about 7 by 7.5, 7.5 by 7.5, and I was a little concerned that it might be too small, because when you look on Etsy, most of them are like 8.5. So I went ahead and I made another one in the same design with different yarn. So it goes like this, and this one is larger. This one is 8.5 by 8.5, somewhere in there. When you block it and you get these all to lay nice and straight, as I'm working on it, when I hold it in my hands, they get really kind of scrunched up as you're going. So it just needs to be a little bit blocked, and that'll open everything up nicely. So I'm not sure. Let me know down below. Do you use dishcloths like this, or do you have the Swedish dishcloths. I've been seeing those a lot on Instagram. They're those flat sponge looking things that when you get them wet, they turn all kinds of soft, and you can throw them through the wash and the dishwasher, and they're reusable and everything. These are better if you wash them by hand, if you want them to keep in that vibrant color. But I always run mine through the dishwasher because I'm using them to do dishes. If it gets a little faded or a little bleached or something, I don't worry about it. I'm really not going to soak dishcloths in hot water and a sink full of bubbles and stuff and then rinse them out. I don't understand where some people think that that is what the most people are going to do. Now, that might be what you're going to do. But for me, again, I want to run it through a really hot water washing machine or the dishwasher to make sure all of the germs and stuff are out of them. I want them clean, no little food bits left in them. So I have another one I'm working on, and I'm making it this big. And I think that's a good size. But then I'm like, but I think this is a good size too to hold to wash dishes. So I'm going to make another one this size because I have already started it. This one is in whatever this yarn is. You can see I have some leftovers in here. That yarn right there had this in it. It's supposed to be some like seaside beach thing or something like that. But I went ahead and I cut all of this out and I just wove in the ends when I had to connect them because I thought this really just kind of made it muddy and ugly in there. And the very first row that I did was this. And I'm like, yuck, I didn't like it. But I've been using a variety of yarns. So this one right here, the pinks and purple, is a Capri Eco Cotton from Loops and Thread. So Loops and Thread, I believe, isn't that the Michaels brand? That's made from recycled cotton, so that's nice. I think that's an old one. So here's another Loops and Thread Everyday Cotton. That's that one. But see, they don't even show all the colors in there. Maybe that's not that one. I don't know. I know this was one of them. This is a Crafter's Secret. I believe this is a Hobby Lobby yarn. That's that one. That one's Ocean Stripe. So if you pick up this one, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of that green in there. And that just did not interest me. Rainbow Stripe. You know, I save all of these as if I'm going to actually pair ombre. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I save them. Why do I save them? I don't know. Pretty Purple. Oh, this is the scrubby one. That's that one right there. Okay, we don't need to know all that stuff. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on. Sometimes when I'm at the end of the night or I'm waiting to do something like dinner or to leave the house or something, I just pick this up and I crochet a few rows and it goes really quick. Once I got the hang of it, I am missing my good needle, hooks I should say now. I have a nice set that's longer. So when I'm doing it, it comes out further and it doesn't hit right here where I'm having the issues with the trigger finger. So that does make it painful. So I end up doing this weird looking thing, but it works and I get it done and I've been enjoying it. I've been wanting to crochet the dishcloths for a while now, so I'm really happy to have actually found the yarn inside this room, and I purchased the hooks for them a little bit ago. I'm still using the same dishcloth bag that I always use. This is from a Crafty Gemini Missouri Star Quilt Company tutorial, I believe it is. So for those of you that have enjoyed the hand knit or hand crocheted dishcloths, these will be going in the shop once I get a certain abundance of them. A lot of times when I put them in the shop, if I'll put 10 or 15 in, you guys come in, wipe them out really quick, and then it takes me a while to build that back up. I might just do something where I hold on to them and I only put them out at one time during the year. Maybe a little bit closer to Christmas would be good, so that if you're purchasing them for yourself or for a Christmas gift, then you can just go ahead and grab what you need. Today's Monday the 29th. God is coming today. I'm going to see if I can record it. So they have this really fun robotic thing that they take it off of the truck and they put it on this thing and they remote control it so they can maneuver it into a variety of places. So I think that might be interesting for at least me to see, and whether or not you guys might find it interesting. We have a live stream coming up on that's February 2nd at 3 p.m. Eastern. That might be our last live stream before the move. The one we normally do after that would be the 16th, so I don't know, I might just pop up randomly and do a live or something like that. But if you want to keep up with what's happening and catch any random videos, I highly recommend subscribing to the channel and ringing the notification bell. I know several of you prefer not to subscribe. You just like to go ahead and find the channel and watch what's up. If you want to keep up with what's happening with the move and catch any random videos or community posts that might come up, you can subscribe. And if you're the type of person that doesn't want to be subscribed, once we settle in Arizona, you can go ahead and unsubscribe. Totally up to you what you want to do. There's also a link down below in the description box to an email service that anytime I put a post up, I don't know if you guys get the community tab ones, but I know you get the videos and such. So whenever those come up, you will get an email for those. Things are going to get a little mixed up now. This is probably going to be our last video where I have the studio light on. Can you see the nice bright light on my hand? This is what we normally look like. But the studio lights are getting packed up and they are going into the pod soon, just to clear out a lot of the things in the room so I can figure out what's going with me, what's going in the pod, and how I can best pack it. As things start getting packed, I'll just let you know how I pack different things, because I do have a lot of large rulers and I have several cutting mats, the sewing machines, all of those things, just to give you a quick little something, and it'll give you a little bit of a video to watch. Things might come a little out of order coming up. I might have worked on a project a week and a half ago, but I saved a couple things back on the WiP It Wednesdays, so we have more as I'm traveling. So you might see something on Instagram last week, and you might not see it on a WiP It Wednesday for 2 weeks from now. As always, thank you guys so much for your patience and for all of your support. I hope to see you on the live stream on Friday. Remember, that's at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we are going to be working on something random for sure. It could be sewing, it could be something else. I'll figure that out usually Thursday afternoon or Friday morning. I'm not feeling very prepared this week. It's fun to have a surprise, right? So thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.